Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late here today. Was running around this afternoon, just actually finished up a podcast with one of our guests that came to the event last week, Matthew Boyer. Huge shout out to Matthew. He's got the Lincoln County podcast, so it's out in Wentzville, actually at my friend Joey Yak's place. Incredible spot that I've done a couple of podcasts at so far. So I was out there doing that. Just getting back to the office, wanted to come live here today. Sebastian won't be joining with me. We'll do another joint live here over the next couple of weeks. Just wanted to come on here. We're almost a week removed from Builders of Authority Live, so wanted to provide you all a quick recap with some lessons learned. Our new offer that you'll see here in the comments for our Builders of Authority Mastermind. We announced that at the event itself, but just kind of wanted to come full circle. I know a lot of people who were not there were asking questions, wanted to learn ultimately about the experience of throwing the event, some of the wins, some of the highs, some of the lessons learned, all that good stuff. So if you have any questions specifically about running an event, about the event itself, about anything that we're doing with Builders of Authority, just leave those in the comments here of this video. One of the big announcements that I did have at Builders of Authority is that Builders of Authority is my main thing. That is what I'm focused on. So Builders of Authority has all of my time and attention, which I'm really, really excited about. We brought on some new one-to-one coaching clients, 3 over the past couple of weeks. So really excited to continue to pour into our Builders of Authority community. We've added a couple more new Builders of Authority members as well. So if you have any questions about our Builders of Authority Mastermind, this has my full attention. So please, please, please let me know if you are interested in coming into our community. We have multiple calls a week. We have a personal branding course. We have group mastermind, and then we also have one-to-one options available. And of course, we have our Builders of Authority Live, BOA Live event, which just happened last week. I don't have a date for our summer event, but it'll likely be at the end of June or middle to late July. Don't have dates lined up, but should have that over the next couple of weeks. So Builders of Authority Live, what an incredible freaking day that was, almost just a week ago. I want to say again, thank you to everybody who attended. Thank you to the speakers. Thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to everybody that has just consistently watched my content, shared my content, commented, liked, etc. Ultimately, about everything that we're doing with Builders of Authority. This has been a very quick movement, as I shared in my talk over last week, of just we have grown tremendously quickly in a very, very short period of time. Couldn't have done that without all of you. Couldn't have thrown the event in just 90 days from the time that we decided we were going to throw that event until we actually threw the event. Couldn't have done it without so much support. So the event itself, as I've been asked multiple times, hey, what's going on, Tyler? Hope all is well, man. Honestly went off without too much of a hitch at all. There was a couple of technical difficulties in the very beginning that as I was getting things started, I was the first speaker of the day that kind of threw me off with the clicker and all the other stuff, but that's to be expected. But other than that, I got a lot of feedback from some of our BOA members on one of our calls recently. I had multiple people just stop me throughout the day and be like, Adam, this was an incredible event. Especially the people that were here from St. Louis that typically don't go to a lot of the events that I go to outside of St. Louis. They were like, wow, Adam, I didn't realize you had such a strong and recognizable basically network of people. And I was like, no, this has literally been years and years of making. I have gone outside of St. Louis to build networks, and now I'm really building a network here in St. Louis as well. And so it was a really cool opportunity for me to marry the best of both worlds and bring some incredible freaking speakers to the stage. I think only 1 or 2 of the speakers were actually from St. Louis. Everybody else traveled from out of town. All of the sponsors were from out of town as well, which just goes to show their belief and their desire to see Builders of Authority and BOA Live really take off. And it was exactly that. I talked with some of our sponsors literally the day after and a couple of the days after the event, and they were like, Adam, like pound for pound, this event was one of the best that we've attended, from the number of attendees to their investment into the event to what their pipeline value looks like. And so for me, that was like, okay, we have something here. We have a very incredible base of people that are supporting this Builders of Authority mission, that want to see everybody succeed. They want to support our sponsors. They want to support our speakers. They want to support me. And that was, to be honest, like one of the coolest aspects. Like I had no idea what to truly expect going into that day. And, you know, I think I looked back and I was just going through the different memories from the day with the pictures and the videos and things like that. It freaking flew by. But the conversations that I was having on the side with people, the next day at the mini mastermind, the countless number of messages I got after the event, it was literally like, I mean, it was tearing me up to the point of like, I thought to myself throughout planning for this event and going through what I've been going through, like, does this even make sense to throw the event? Is this event better off just not being, you know, followed through on? Like, those were the things that I was thinking. And a lot of the stuff that I shared in my talk of like, if this event impacts one person, appreciate you, Tim. Incredible meeting you, and really, really glad you had a chance to come. Awesome seeing you. If this impacts one person, right, then ultimately it was worth it. Like that was where it was at in my mind. And I know so many people were freaking impacted by it. So the speakers throughout the day, like I was very, very excited to go first because I wanted to set the day off and I wanted to do all that stuff, like learning more of the things from actually running the event and how to position Builders of Authority. Like I probably would do it at the end next time, and I probably will do that. That was like one thing that consistent number of people told me. But I was honestly kind of glad to go first because I swear I went, and then Drewby went, and then freaking Kyle went, and then Justin went. Like, I mean, it was an ascension. Like everybody was one-upping each other, and it was really a cool atmosphere to be a speaker at, and to be an attendee at, and to be a sponsor at. And so one of the things I was just like so proud of, that the speakers were just leading with freaking value day in and day out. Sebastian opened up the afternoon. Then Brad came on, and then Dr. Ken Smiley, and then we had Sam Kaufman finish off the day. And then I kind of wrapped things up, and then we went to the Blues game, which was an incredible time as well. The speakers, there was no ego up there. There was no people that were just like, this is what I have, and this is what I do, and this is why you need to do it. I mean, there was so much value. There were so many freaking people taking notes. There were so many things that I heard from attendees of what they picked up on and what they're already implementing. I think one of the coolest things for me is to already have seen so many of these attendees that came to the event already implement and take action on what we talked about less than a week ago. And to see the amount of people that were posting about the event on social media and sharing what they learned and talking about already getting super excited about the next event. I can't tell you how many people I've already heard and texted me and been like, Adam, when's the next event? I need it on the calendar. I need to be at BOA Live, because they had the FOMO. They saw what we did. They saw who was there. They realized the impact of ultimately what happened. But it wasn't just me. It was the full crew of attendees. It was the speakers. It was the event space. It was the sponsors. And it was just really cool to see it all, come to fruition. And then, so there were so many people behind the scenes. Obviously Sebastian, a huge help in getting this thing off the ground. He crushed his event. He emceed part of the day. I emceed part of the day. He's a way better and funnier MC than me. That was one of the feedback pieces I heard, is like, just let Sebastian, run with it. That's his realm. So it'll be a conversation that we'll have. But honestly, like, so much of the feedback was, to be honest, about how we could have done things for BOA, could have done things behind the scenes, like pitched more and done all that stuff, which I said, hey, that wasn't the goal of this event. So if the worst thing that happened is that BOA didn't grow a ton directly from our own event, then that's a pretty good problem to have if that's like at the top of the list. So in full transparency, that's something that was continuously passed along to me in feedback of what we could have done better. I didn't have a BOA table. I didn't have a lot of that stuff. I was just so focused on delivering an incredible experience for our attendees, for our speakers, for our sponsors, and having a ton of content. Shout out to Tommy and his incredible team at Video Punk. Shout out to Ken and Ed with Perfect Publishing and Dr. Smiley for having a bunch of pictures taken. Like, I just wanted to blow the first round of BOA Live out of the water. So that way, you know, we can continue to build, we can continue to do incredible things, ideally every single quarter. I'm still catching my breath. I'm still, you know, figuring things out post-event, still learning and figuring out some things that we could be doing differently next time in order to just improve the overall customer experience. So if you were at the event and you're watching this video, I know Tim shared his experience. Really appreciate you, Tim. I know you had a chance to also go to the hockey game that night. With the VIP experience, which was another incredible environment, about 30, 35 of us. And then there was about 30 to 35 of us again the next day for the mini mastermind. But if you're watching this video and you attended the event, if you'd like to share any, you know, pieces of feedback or information, whether publicly or if you want to shoot me a message, I know I've gotten quite a few messages on the event already. Always open to feedback. Would love to hear from many of y'all. So if you guys have any questions about the event, feel free to put those in the comments. I can either answer them here right now or I'll answer them later as I'll be getting ready to finish up this live. Or feel free to shoot me a text, email me, message me on Facebook, write me a letter. I don't really care. I just want to hear from you, right? I want to understand how this event impacted your life so that way we can understand what went well, where we have areas of opportunity to improve, or if there's something that you really, really want to share, and go from there. Can we get a list of all attendees for those that went? Yes, we are actually going to be sending out a email, I believe tomorrow, which will have all of the speaker slides in a Google Drive. So you can go and you can download each individual speaker or the speakers that you wanted to basically go back and see their slides. We'll have that as well as the final list of attendees. And then from there, we are going to be getting all of the video content, photo content, things like that. We'll be sharing it with you all as well. Trying to get a full replay together. I know we're just kind of starting to have that conversation as well on how we can best do that and get it out to everybody that went. We'll see if we get it out to the public or what that looks like. But yes, that is on the horizon here shortly. Awesome. Well, coming up on the 13-minute mark again, sorry about being a little bit late today, but just wanted to share a little bit of information. Sebastian and I will be doing one of these together here in the near future. We'll be going a little bit further in depth as we lead up to the next BOA Live on just some more stuff that I learned, just kind of walking you all through this process and things like that. Again, want to show a ton of appreciation to anybody and everybody that had a lot of impact on this event. I couldn't have done it without you all. It was a really, really long couple of days, but looking back on it, totally freaking worth it. Totally worth all the lives that were changed from that event. So thank you all. Appreciate your support as always, day in and day out with everything that I do here as Builders of Authority continues to gain steam, gain momentum, and all those things. So we'll see you here next week. Let me know if you need anything, and we'll talk to you soon.